Hey guys, welcome to our channel. We are Sweet 11. In our channel, we curate, critique, and provide theory in film and TV. And we do plan to do a lot more.
Yeah, definitely. We have other ideas. And to anyone who subscribes, you'll see us drop videos outside of that bracket. But yeah, that's our main thing, is what she said. This would actually be our first video as well.
So be nice.
Yeah, be nice. We definitely don't want no haters in the comments.
No.
We definitely don't want no smack talk. We don't take that. Don't take that here. You know, we will roast back.
Yeah,
so if you got something to say about, you know, something a person said or what they're wearing or something like that, do know they'll be held to pay.
It's not that serious. What we're planning to do today is actually discuss and review a show on Crave called Euphoria. So we're going to give it several ratings. The first one being presentation, performances, and also writing and storytelling. And at the end, we're going to give our overall rating of the show.
So yeah, just what I want to say in addition to everything, this has been a bit delayed due to a couple lockdowns, a couple blizzards. You know, we be living out in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So we weren't able to get this out in time for episode 1. So we're doing this video with both 1 and 2 in mind as we wait for episode 3 to air in a couple of days. Just a quick summary for season 1.
Nate and his daddy, they be fucked up. They fucked shit up in season 1. That's all you guys need to know. Let's get into the meat, which is season 2.
Speaking of meat, yeah, you know, I can tell this show is very self-aware because holy hell, there's a lot of fucking dicks.
I mean, I'm not complaining, if you know what I mean.
It's just dicks everywhere. If you're not comfortable with that, I don't know, man. It's just no vaginas though. I don't think I've seen a single vagina on this show, but lots of dicks swinging around.
It's by time. There's too many shows where I feel like the women really were showing a lot and the men didn't show at all. I mean, he obviously thinks differently on that, but
I think it's a little bit imbalanced, you know. If you're gonna show dicks, you gotta show coochie too. But
equality,
I digress.
right?
Yeah. We can go. That's a whole spiel we can go off on this. But you know, let us know in the comments if you want us to discuss these matters. But in addition to the stuff that I said about them being self-aware, I do feel like they do a lot of things with their characters and the plot lines, where it's like they're trying to evoke anger out of us, you know, trying to piss us off and shit and make us uncomfortable, like I said. And man, like those scenes with I don't remember his first name, the Daddy Jacobs.
We're calling him Daddy Jacobs.
Those scenes with him, man, and they just slip him in there. You know what I mean? You don't even see it coming.
No.
My goodness. And in episode, I think it was episode 1.
Yeah.
Where he did that. I don't even want to say it, bro. I don't know if you want to say it.
Are we allowed to say that on YouTube?
I mean, we said dicks like several times.
Okay. So there's a clip. We're just going to show you the clip.
We're not showing the clip. Are you mad? That's
Okay,
literal
man.
nudity, man. Anyways, there's a lot of uncomfortable moments, and I think the showrunners knew that that's what they wanted to do to us. So go, if you haven't seen the show, or if you haven't seen, at least even seen just these episodes, just know like you're bruh, they're gonna set you up.
Exactly.
Yeah, and just speaking on Daddy Jacobs, they had obviously there's Nate as well, and I think a lot of people will list him off as probably the most hated character in the show.
Yeah.
He's probably the most notable character in the show other than Zendaya's character.
Yeah.
But you know, I gotta say this, I don't feel like we've had I don't feel like we've had a character who was hated this much since like Joffrey Baratheon from like Game of Thrones.
I totally agree with you. Like, it's been a hot minute.
Yeah, like this is a universal, like everybody fucking hates this guy, and that kudos to the actor, because you know, you got to be a great actor to be able to do that and pull it off, you know what I'm saying?
And I was telling you also, like, I've never seen this actor play such a character before.
I've never seen him before at all.
Like, he was from the Netflix film Kissing Booth. So if you guys know that film, he was prominent. Like, he was the main guy, right? So to see him play such a very manipulative, like, evil person, like, and low-key damaged, right?
Yeah.
Not low-key, high-key. Like, it's very clear who damaged him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, same level of hatred, just as Joffrey in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he's just a fucking rascal. But not to dig too deep yet with that. Still a lot to go with that character. He gets his ass whooped at the end of episode 1, and that was very cathartic for me, I'd say. I don't know about you, but watching him get the shit knocked out of him, we needed some kind of release, you know?
Yeah.
Because all season 1, he didn't take a single L, not one L.
No.
And, you know, he finally took a L, right? And just watching this guy go, bah, bah, bah. Just constantly, bro. Ugh.
And for someone who actually deserved it, I feel like if we're really going to talk about presentation, they really gave the audience what they wanted. Like, you know,
like a release.
They really provided what we needed from season 1 at the end. You know, at the end, it was like, damn, he really got away with it. Then, you know, season 2 comes along.
Yeah.
And, you know, they give us the match we needed, pretty much. I mean, it wasn't really a match. It was Nate getting his shit knocked out.
yeah. He deserved it. He deserves more than that, in my opinion. But we'll see. We'll see how this season goes.
Exactly.
Also, just to quickly just say something about season 1, and we can go off on this in another video, but that kind of ended a little bit blandly for me. It was a kind of a whatever kind of ending, and I know a lot of people who watched it probably felt that way. But they started this one with a bang, and I think they will probably listen to the audience and say, okay, we got to come a little harder next time.
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing I wanted to say real quick, by the way, because I did mention Joffrey Baratheon, and we're talking about other videos. So I just want to say this too. If you guys are interested in us talking about Game of Thrones, bro, I know it's been years, but we're still not over that shit. Like,
no.
we could rant because I have so much shit to say.
We're not over it. Holding a grudge.
Okay, so we've covered that. Gave you a bit of a summary, maybe a little bit long. Who cares, right? But let's get into like the points, the plot points of this episode and of the first episode, just to cover everything.
Exactly. Let's start with Cassie in the bathtub.
Yeah, we can do that.
I felt like that was a really emotionally intense driven like scene, considering that she was hurting her best friend, right? And for that, like, if you ask me, you would think that naturally somebody would be like, oh, I hope she gets caught. I hope Maddie catches her. But in that sense, like, I actually pitied the girl. I really did. For some weird reason. I have no idea. I was really on Cassie's side. Like, I was really out here sweating, hoping that Maddie didn't find her in the bathtub. How did you feel about that?
Well, okay, so I don't know if I felt bad for her necessarily, because there was a whole lot wrong with what she was doing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But the person she was doing it to, I don't know. Like, I don't think Maddie ever did anything to her. Like, I don't think Maddie ever did any snake moves on her. It seems like she treats her like a good friend.
Yeah.
Though Maddie, as like a general person, I wouldn't feel too bad about things happening to her, because she's kind of a bitch too. She's kind of a bitch.
Exactly.
So it's kind of weird. Like, it sucks that it's Cassie that's doing it to her. I don't know what Cassie was thinking in this episode at all, because like you mentioned that she's snaking Maddie, but she's also snaking McKay as well, because
That
McKay
too.
is good buddies with Nate.
Yeah.
And that was her ex, so she's gonna go sleep around with. That's
Yeah, but
that's
she.
rough.
But I felt
Toxic.
Like I felt like she kind of broke up with him in season 1. Was that unclear? Like,
Okay, but to date his best friend afterwards, is that not? I mean, hey, look, comments. Go have a field day with this.
yeah.
I
You
don't
know what? Let's leave that alone, because it's just gonna trickle into a lot more, and I'm curious to see where they go with that storyline.
Yeah.
That's a whole new love triangle brewing, right?
And I want to be honest too. When I saw a trailer for the show, and when I saw that there was an indication that him and Cassie were gonna hook up,
Yeah.
that made me sick to my fucking stomach.
That's sick.
It made me sick to my stomach.
And like, how do you feel about her and Nate like actually having an emotional connection now? Like, he actually said in his head like he loves her. Like, that part of it, do you really believe him? I don't. There's no way you could actually believe somebody who is so like so evil. Not evil, but like very wicked. Like, for him to now stop and be like, oh, I want to have kids with her, I want to have babies. Like, is that really what you want, or is that what you tell yourself? Because he was still thinking about Jules.
Yeah, so I had some thoughts on that, because the way that they filmed the scenes in the beginning of the episode
Yeah.
2, where he was out and he was like having these, I don't even know, nightmares or whatever.
Yeah.
They were like cycling between Cassie and Jules constantly. So it's like I don't know if that is just Cassie is just like a fill-in because he can't get to Jules, or maybe he's like, and I heard this about psychopaths and sociopaths even, like they will get obsessed with a person, and then it's like a habitual thing. I don't know if you guys watch a show called You. Like,
Another great show.
yeah, amazing show. And he's like that. This guy will get obsessed with every girl he finds this even like some kind of connection to, and I think that's kind of what they're trying to do with Nate to some degree,
Right.
right? Because he was hella fascinated with Maddie. Now look, he doesn't care about her at all. It's now about Jules.
Right.
And now after he slept with Cassie, now it seems like the show is trying to imply that, you know, that's where his mind is going with her. But he's probably getting a little mixed up and confused now.
He has so many things working at the same time, you know, like with also Maddie having the CD, right? And running with that. Like he needs to figure out how to squash that. And now his dad might get exposed, so now he needs to figure that out as well, right? Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, Jules is, you know, running around free, and he's still at, you know, fantasizing about her.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? I just want to cover this real quick because it's a quick one-off thing for me. I don't know if you have anything extra to say, but there's a lot of plot lines, and I guess a lot of people love Zendaya, so I feel like they wanted her plot line to get a lot of time in the show. But I'm gonna be fucking honest. I do not care for Rue and Jules's plot line at all. When they show up on screen, sometimes I'm just like, all right, I don't care about this. This is not as interesting.
Same. I'm just like, okay, yes, she left you at the train station. Yes, you were using her as an emotional crutch to not do drugs. We get it. We get it.
Yeah, let's be real. They don't belong together. Let's just be real.
No.
You know what I'm saying? All this other stuff is just fluff. All right. They're trying to fuck with our heartstrings, but listen, man, I don't believe in that.
I'm just gonna say it now. I feel like she's more emotionally, like, attracted to, like, not emotionally attracted, but emotionally connected and also attracted to the new guy, because he bothered to ask her questions about her upbringing, right? Mm-hmm. He literally asked her a question that I feel like Jules really should have asked her. Mm-hmm. Hey, did you start drugs because your dad passed? Like, that kind of showed.
Feel like they spoke about that stuff.
I don't think she did.
No, I don't remember everything from season 1. It was a bit of a blur.
Jules was just like, yeah, let's have fun. Woo!
I think Jules was also implying that she has her own problems and she doesn't want to have to carry the burden of another person's problems. Like, maybe there was an implication of that somewhere.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Okay, so I'm gonna be done with Rue and Jules. If you guys want to hear more about Rue and Jules and our opinions on it, sure. But I'm gonna sound like a fucking hater if I keep going. I want to talk about something wholesome real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yo, can we just say, yo, Lexi and Fez? I kind of like that. I like that. I like that situation. I love that situation.
Yeah, no.
And yo, like, I know Fez might come off a little bit weird, like he's got a few screws loose or whatever, but dude has game, bro. You see how he hit on that chick? He took his time. He's like smelling the roses. He knew she wasn't going nowhere, so he just took his time, just laid back.
I think he was saying everything that a girl necessarily wants to hear.
He was smooth with it.
He was very smooth, and it was so wholesome. It was so cute and innocent. Yeah. I mean, for someone who is so gangster, drugs, guns, like, you know, to be so innocent in that moment with her, it was like he knew what level, like her level, and he brought himself down to her level.
Yeah, and you know what's funny too? It's like guys that have his I don't know if you want to call it job title, are generally painted as villainous most of the time, or like heartless. But it's, you know, in reality, there's a lot of guys like him who are just doing what they got to do. Yeah. And he's still a good man deep down.
He is.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I don't know if he's a good man deep down yet. His time will come.
I think he is.
But he seems solid.
He takes care of his grandma, okay? Takes care of his brother.
And his friends.
Takes care of Rue. Take care of that girl with the lip filler.
By the way, I'm very happy that him and Rue weren't a thing, because I thought it was kind of coming off like they were flirting, but no, it doesn't make sense.
No, it's brother sister.
Him with Lexi, this makes more sense. And by the way, Lexi is probably the best character on the show to me. She just seems like the only one who has not disappointed me yet. Everyone else has done some stupid shit.
Yeah, they all failed us one way or another, but Lexi has stayed pure in our eyes. Until, you know what, that might change.
Yeah, that might change.
Also,
speaking of disappointing, I think I know what you're gonna say.
You know what I'm gonna say, right? Let's talk about Kat and her boo thing. Okay. her, you know, I feel like that situation with her was so important to showcase because I feel like a lot of girls go through that. You know, they go through a moment where they're dating with a guy that they know is a good choice, but for some reason it doesn't feel right completely. Like like I love when she did the pros and cons list because he had no cons. Like so it was something going on with her, right?
Yeah.
And there's that toxic thing that we were telling, you know, we gave a little hint of in the beginning of this video. It's just like it's just like everyone on the show is ungrateful. Everything that they have, they're just ungrateful. You know what I'm saying? Rue is ungrateful. Jules is ungrateful. Nate is ungrateful. I mean, minus his daddy. But like other than that, like he had a good life. He just ended up finding out something about his dad. Otherwise, he wouldn't have found out, right? And it shaped him, right?
Yeah.
But it's not like his dad actually treated him like he was abusive. He was just a very stern dad and who knew he wanted the best, right? It really just showcased how everyone's mind is so warped. Like everyone has something going on, and it's so interesting to now see that, I guess, the not the main characters, but the side characters like Kat and her boo thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember what her boyfriend's name is because technically she literally doesn't care about him, so I haven't really bothered to learn his name either.
Yeah.
But I hope during like as we get through the season, we definitely see her like do her own thing and not string poor, you know, boo thing along.
I'm gonna be honest too, like the whole reason I even said the way I segued into this was because I had a lot of hope for Kat as a character, and I feel like the way she's the way she's gone about things throughout the first season and now, she's just constantly disappointing me. Like she's constantly doing the things I don't want her to do, like
disobedient.
Like when she lost her virginity, what the hell was that? Let's not get into it. But just I think that goes into the other thing I was going to say was the show's trying to piss us off and make us uncomfortable. I think as guys, when we watch that scene where the fucking guy from the Dothraki guy kills her boyfriend in front of her and then fucks her, I think that did something to me inside. I'm gonna be fucking honest. I didn't like it. It made me feel gross. It made me feel disgusted. Like, ugh. And I know a lot of girls watch that scene is like, yeah, girl, get what you want.
What girls are you talking about? When I saw that scene, I was like, yo, this girl's actually whatless. Like, you don't deserve him.
Yes.
How did you actually think that was okay? Like, let the man go. You don't. What is all this? You want a Dothraki to come and mind you,
you don't have to kill him.
Doggy, obviously Dothraki. She wants a guy that's gonna mistreat her.
Yeah.
And that also goes into another not loophole, but wormhole of women who like to be mistreated, and that's what they go for. They go for the bad boys. That's what it symbolized.
Do you think that ties into just her self-worth? Because they had that scene where a bunch of people were randomly popping up in her room and like telling her to love yourself and shit.
Yeah.
Like it probably all ties in that way, and we'll probably see more of this shit as time goes on. Don't want to harp on it too much. You get the general idea of what I think we're trying to say about Kat.
Pretty much.
I don't know why she fucked that one guy in the first season, but whatever. He's just sitting there like,
he was so ugly.
Oh my god. If I looked at you like this, girl, all the girls watching, if I looked at you like this. Yeah, you gonna slide your panties off? I don't think so.
No.
Okay, there's one more plot point I think I want to talk about. I don't know if you have any others, but I'll say it and you tell me if this is if there's anything else after this. So yeah, when it comes to the ending of episode 2, like I'll just be honest right away, episode 2 wasn't as dramatic or anything as episode 1 was, but I think it's setting things up, and I think it's really it has a purpose, I'm sure.
For sure.
I wasn't disappointed in it, but
no.
I like the way it ended. Nate basically took an ass whooping for his dad. I find that there's some integrity in that. If I had a son or a daughter and they caught me slipping or someone else caught me slipping, I'd like for them to do the right thing and catch me, you know what I'm saying? So I'll give him a point for that. I think that was really, you know what I'm saying? To get your ass whooped for something that your dad is doing, that's crazy.
Right?
That's crazy. There's a whole web of fuckery going on in this show with that character. Whole web of fuckery. You know what I'm saying? The man got beaten up because his dad had sex with a minor. The minor somehow got it on tape, or he got it on tape. Then somehow that tape got in the hands of Nate's girlfriend, And then now there's a bunch of fuckery because the girl that he fucked is friends with a drug addict who then told a gang, like a drug dealer, that he pretty much stay away from my friends.
Pretty much.
And then that drug dealer then threatened Nate and said, "Look, I'm gonna kill you. Leave those girls alone." Right? Mm-hmm. Then what Nate does, gets this whole establishment raided, costing Fez a whole ton of money and all this nonsense. And now he has to retaliate. And once he retaliates, Nate knows he can't do nothing because of that tape.
Pretty much.
Because his dad could go to jail for a long ass time. That's a huge web of fuckery right there. And I'm here for it, bro. It's toxic as hell.
I can't wait to see what they do with that, because that was a lot what you just said. That was a ton.
I probably could have summed it up quicker.
Yeah. And if you caught what he said, just know that we're also anticipating where the show is going to go. And I hope the people writing the show definitely do it justice, because they gave us what we wanted, and I hope that they continue to do that.
Yeah. They need to come around with this shit. So yeah, we've discussed a whole bunch of shit about the show. We've gotten all the plot points in the video. I know it's dragging on a little bit now, so let's just get down to the nitty gritty. This is the end now. We're talking about ratings.
So the first one was presentation, right?
Yeah.
They did good. I liked the artistic vibe that they gave with the flashing of the lights. That was a nice touch. It was very
episode 1, right?
Yeah, from episode 1. I like that little, take on the cinematography. I like when they do a little artsy fartsy stuff. So I really appreciate that.
It's all about the theatrics.
Yeah, so I'm gonna rate that like an 8, 9, something like that. In between that,
I would go ahead and say the same. For the most part, I think I like the way they film things. I like the sound design as well. Like, they pick great songs most of the time.
Great.
They had one song when Lexi was on screen that I didn't agree with. I don't know why they did that to her, but whatever. Other than that, I think presentation's pretty good. I'd go with probably a 9 on that.
Okay. And the next one was performances. Performance, definitely 10 out of 10. I'm gonna give it a 10. Ooh. Because episode 1 was so explosive. Like, to have Fez, I think overall in this category, Fez's performance sticks out the most for me.
I can see that.
And definitely Cassie and Nate. I'll give them a little bit of a rating too as well, because I love how intense it was and how nerve-wracking they were by getting caught by Maddie.
Yeah, Cassie has like this puppy dog thing that she does in her scenes, like not just in this season, but in general. She always looks like she's so fragile, and she pulls that off very well. So I would say she probably shined more for me. I think she's up there, and I gotta say as well, Nate, Maddie, Fez, they did a very good job as well.
I agree.
I don't think anyone really lacked. Like, all the actors did a fantastic job. This is going to be probably like a 10 as well.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, Zendaya, man, you believe that she's a fucking drug addict.
Like, she really out here making us think that she's a crackhead, like, in real life.
That's crazy. Super wholesome, too. In real life.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess the next thing would be writing and plotline. This one's going to be tricky to rate, I think, usually. But I think episode 1, the plot line went pretty good.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say I didn't like about it was just the whole thing with Fez and Nate. Like, why did he do that so publicly instead of just catching him outside of the party or something? That I don't know why they did that, other than to set up a problem later. Which they did. They used it as a setup. But he could have, knowing how he handled other things and how a person of in his realm would have handled things, he wouldn't have done that. He would have at least had a mask on like he did when he was robbing the rich guy.
Right.
So I thought that was a bit of a very obvious plot, plot crutch or something.
Yeah.
Other than that thing, I don't really have too much complaints. I'd probably go with the 8 for plot on this one.
You know what? I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with 8 as well. Just because it still is in the beginning of the season, so there's still more build-up to look forward to.
So yeah, that's for plot. We also have a bonus rating of how toxic the show is.
Yes.
From toxic to wholesome, right? And I would say this is definitely up there on the scale. If you want to just point out on the scale where it is.
So obviously toxic.
It's all the way at the end.
Wholesome.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Yeah, we're good people. Gotta be good first and then bad last.
Okay. So where would you rate it on the toxic scale?
I would say somewhere in between, like toxic and in the middle.
So
Somewhere
like
like
a 8 or a 7?
like a 7 or 8. Yeah.
7 in toxicity. Whew, it's a toxic show, man. I gotta say, yeah, there's other shows that are more toxic at times, but this is teenagers, man. And, you know, what can they really do? They don't own big tech companies, and they're not like big movie producers.
Yeah.
No one's getting Me Too'd necessarily.
I
But
feel like, but a lot of what's going on is emotional damage. I hate
Yeah.
that I said that.
Emotional damage.
so overall rating now, yeah, you hit us off.
Okay. Let's start over.
I kicked the ring light.
Yeah.
Okay. Our overall rating.
We're
would you
gonna
say?
give it a 9.
Oh, we're both giving it a 9. You're
Or
saying.
at least I give it a 9.
Now I gotta, because we're doing a rating of both episode 1 and 2.
Yeah.
It's a little tricky, but I'll just lump them together and we'll find a middle ground. But
Okay.
I think probably like an 8,
Okay.
8.5. That plot hole really did it for me. I'm gonna be honest. It kept it from being perfect almost.
True.
Also the Rue and Jewel stuff I'm not really feeling. So
That's true. I remember you saying that.
some stuff with Kat, I can't give it a 9 with a full heart. You know, I gotta say like 8, maybe 8.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Maybe I'm a little optimistic.
So yeah, that's our video. I hope you guys agreed or disagreed. I hope you had an opinion about our opinions. Yeah, that's pretty much all we have to say about this.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, comment, like, and subscribe. Can't believe we just said that. I said it for the first time.
Are we keeping this in?
Yes. I'm sorry. I got excited.
She gets giddy, guys. She gets giddy.
Okay.
Just another little side note. Hey, like we have this is not the first video we filmed. We've actually filmed a few times. Due to some complications, we didn't actually throw those videos up, but we did a video about this other show called Sexy Beasts, which was more relevant last year. I don't remember when it came out at this point, but like a few months ago last year. So if it ended up being very long, but if you guys want us to post that as just side content, I think there's some pretty good juicy bits in there.
Yeah,
You
just
might
let us
enjoy
know.
it. If you guys want to say it in the comments or something, or just DM us, because most of y'all probably know us.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, guys. Take it easy. Bye.
All right, bye.
Don't just shake your head. Explain why the coffee's so good.
Good taste.